Spain's incredible run of dominating possession for 136 consecutive matches has finally come to an end. While some might mourn the end of this era, many see it as a catalyst for a fresh and exciting chapter for La Roja, a change that was already in motion before Euro 2024. Spain's national team has a rich history of success, defined for many years by their Tiki-Taka style of play. This video explores their dominance with Tiki-Taka, the reasons behind their recent shift in tactics, and what this change might mean for the future of La Roja. The world-famous Tiki-Taka style of play has its roots in the revolutionary Catalan football developed by Johan Cruyff's Barcelona in the early 1990s. While Cruyff laid the groundwork, it was Pep Guardiola who truly took Tiki-Taka to new heights. During Spain's dominant international run, Guardiola's Barcelona teams were simultaneously redefining club football, showcasing a near unbeatable brand of possession-based play. Between 2008 and 2012, Spain's national team established a dynasty, claiming a staggering 14 trophies out of a possible 19. Following their Euro 2008 win under Luis Aragonés, Vicente Del Bosque took the reins and further refined their Tiki-Taka style. Del Bosque's strategy emphasized midfield control. His lineups often featured a plethora of elite ball-playing midfielders, including the iconic Barcelona trio of Sergio Busquets, Xavi Hernandez, and Andres Iniesta. Xabi Alonso from Real Madrid and David Silva of Manchester City also frequently complemented this core group. Spain's golden generation, a truly remarkable group of players, relied heavily on possession football to control games. This tactic sometimes led to narrow victories, particularly in tournaments. For example, at the 2010 World Cup, they won each knockout game 1-0, including a dominant final against the Netherlands, where they held a staggering 63% possession for the entire 120 minutes. Even when faced with adversity, Spain's dominance continued. Despite striker David Villa's injury before Euro 2012, Vicente Del Bosque's bold decision to use midfielder Cesc Fabregas as a false 9 inches paid off. Spain secured their third consecutive major trophy with a resounding 4-0 victory over Italy in the final, still maintaining a strong 52% possession rate. However, as their golden generation approached retirement, La Roja's unwavering commitment to possession-based football began to yield less consistent results. Signs of a shift emerged as early as 2014. Recognizing the need for change, Vicente Del Bosque called up the powerful striker Diego Costa for the World Cup, hinting at a more direct approach. This trend continued with subsequent coaches, all aiming to modernize the team. Julen Lopetegui, Fernando Hierro, Luis Enrique, and Robert Moreno all spoke about adding verticality, pace, and attacking threat to Spain's game. However, despite these efforts, the national team continued to rely heavily on possession-first principles. As Spain's Tiki-Taka dominance peaked, opponents developed effective counter-strategies. Teams began to defend deep, absorb pressure, and exploit weaknesses with counterattacks or set pieces. This tactical shift exposed Spain's vulnerabilities and led to some disappointing results. A prime example is Spain's performance at the 2018 World Cup. Against host nation Russia in the round of 16, Spain dominated possession with a staggering 79%, took 23 shots, but only managed 1 goal. Ultimately, they were eliminated on penalties. The trend continued at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. In the round of 16 against Morocco, Luis Enrique's team again dominated possession, 77%, and completed an incredible number of passes, over 1,000. However, they only managed 1 shot on target throughout the entire 120 minutes and were eliminated on penalties once again. Despite the result, Enrique remains surprisingly optimistic in his post-match interview. reiterating his strong belief in Spain's possession-based style. Objectively, Enrique's post-match optimism raised eyebrows. While Spain dominated possession against Morocco, their performance lacked penetration. For long stretches, they seemed to be passing for the sake of passing, failing to create clear scoring chances. This underwhelming display, culminating in another penalty shootout loss, fueled arguments that Spain needed a tactical shift. Many felt the team's over-reliance on possession was no longer effective at the highest level. Following Spain's disappointing exit from the 2022 World Cup, the national team underwent a period of change. Luis Enrique stepped down as coach, and Luis de la Fuente was appointed in December 2022. De la Fuente's arrival marked a shift in philosophy, with a greater emphasis on attacking intent alongside Spain's traditional focus on possession. Luis de la Fuente's tenure as Spain coach began with a period of experimentation. In his first 10 matches, he rotated nearly 50 players, searching for the right formula. This approach, coupled with a surprising loss to Scotland in his second game, fueled early criticism and pressure. De la Fuente also faced off-field controversies. He was criticized for applauding the president of the Spanish Football Federation during a speech deemed inappropriate by many. While De La Fuente apologized, some called for his resignation. Despite these early hurdles, De La Fuente persevered. He gradually settled on a core group of players and a more pragmatic style of play, which would be on display at Euro 2024. Spain's approach against Croatia differed from their traditional possession-heavy style. They held only 47% possession, attempted fewer shots, and had a lower expected goals ratio compared to their opponents. However, Spain displayed impressive efficiency in front of goal. They converted 5 of their 5 shots on target, the same number as Croatia. The opening goal came from a swift counterattack, with Fabian Ruiz finding Alvaro Morata for a composed finish. Spain extended their lead before halftime, with goals from Ruiz himself and Dani Carvajal. Spain's transition away from their traditional Tiki-Taka style hasn't always been aesthetically pleasing. However, fans understand the reasons behind the shift. The team is in a rebuilding phase, with many key players from their golden era having retired. Luis de la Fuente is giving a new generation of exciting young talents the opportunity to develop. One such example is the highly skilled teenager Yamal, known for his dribbling ability. De la Fuente allows him to take on defenders and exploit his directness. This approach also applies to Nico Williams, who had a breakout season with Athletic Bilbao. Previously, wingers like Pedro and Iniesta would drift inside to maintain possession. But now, players like Williams use their pace to make penetrating runs down the flanks. Alvaro Morata spearheads the attack as a more traditional target man. His goal against Croatia demonstrated the effectiveness of this approach. He stretched the defense, occupied defenders, and made dangerous runs into the box, exemplified by the 9 crosses Spain delivered, one leading to Carvajal's goal. Since his appointment, De La Fuente's results have been undeniable. Following the loss to Scotland, they've only lost 2 of their last 12 games, including a UEFA Nations League victory. It's important to note that Spain still possesses exceptional ball-playing midfielders like Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, and Pedri. Before facing Croatia, their average possession rate under De La Fuente was 68%, and even higher against teams like Italy and Albania. This suggests a gradual transition and the ability to adapt based on the opponent. Spain's squad undoubtedly has the talent to challenge most teams in the Euros. The true test of their pragmatic approach being, of course, against a strong opponent like Germany in the quarterfinals, France in the semifinals, and England in the final. Spain managed to win the tournament against England with a 2-1 score. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more football content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.